Hey, friends. So today we're talking to Kira Kosarin from the Thunder. Oh my God, why am I mixing this up? Thunderman's Undercover, because I was gonna say like Thunderman like 20 different times.
You're so good. We were the Thundermans, and then we were the Thundermans Return, and now we're the Thundermans Undercover, and there was the Thundermans Banished, and there was Thunder in Paradise, and it's all confusing, but you crushed it.
Yeah, and then you play Phoebe Thunderman. So there we
I
go. There's
do.
another one to the
And
list.
Dad is Thunderman. I know it's a lot.
It should be called the Thunders. But here we go. So the show today, you have been playing this character for over 10 years.
Yeah.
So it was like a 5-year run on the episode on the television show, and then now you're back with the Thundermans Undercover. So my question to you was, how easy was it to get back into step back into that role? Were there any like cobwebs or anything like that, or was it just like as soon as you got on there, it was like riding a bike?
Yeah, there was a little bit of dust to shake off for sure. When you play a character for a long time, it kind of gets into your bones. And then when you go leave and you play other characters and play yourself, a regular human being in the real world for a while, that character sort of gets tucked away. It kind of gets put into a filing cabinet in the back of your head. So yeah, there was a little bit of dust to shake off to bring Phoebe back to life. There was also kind of a lot of conscious decision making for me of like how much I wanted to play her the same way and how much I wanted to sort of evolve her and like have her grow up a little bit because people's personalities do change over the course of their lives. Plus, my personality has changed, over the course of my life. And so I have new things to sort of bring to Phoebe and new sort of senses of humor and jokes that I found in my own life that I could kind of bring back to her. So yeah, it was a little intimidating at first, but once we actually got into it, once I like learned the first script and got to set, it clicked right in. And especially once I was in the wardrobe and the hair and the makeup and back on set with my cast and like, looking at Jack, my co-star, who like he looks very different in his day-to-day life than he looks as Max. So seeing him done up as Max, I was like, okay, yeah, we're so back.
And then speaking of Jack, this time around, not only are you both actors in the show, but you both are executive producers of the show.
Yeah.
So what was I guess like the impetus of you saying that this time when I come back, I do want to be an executive producer? And then
Yeah.
when you're
So
on stage, oh, I'm sorry. I was
no,
gonna
no,
say,
sorry.
and then how hard is it switching between those two hats of actor and executive producer?
Yeah, so for me, the executive producer thing actually kind of happened organically, as opposed to being something I asked for. When the original version of the idea of doing a reboot came to me to gauge my initial interest, it was a very different version than what ended up happening for the movie. Different people involved, different idea, different vibes, different genre, and it was cool. It was a cool idea. I don't want to like say anything negative about that team, but it didn't feel to me like the right version of this project that would make the fans feel seen and that would pay off the original show. And, I really felt confident that it needed to be a multicam and that certain writers, the creator of the original show needed to be brought on. Like there were just certain things that I felt very strongly should happen. And so I kind of just started producing, bringing certain people together and putting forth certain ideas of what the project could look like. And so I sort of organically got absorbed into the project as an executive producer. And then once I was an executive producer on the movie, I continued to be an executive producer moving forward. So yeah, it's been great to get to work on the project in that capacity. Definitely, twice the hats, twice the work, 3 times the hats with directing. But it's a job I really, really enjoy. And I feel like my work as an EP and my work as an actor sort of inform and feed into each other in a really nice way. So I really enjoyed it.
Thank you, thank you. I think you kind of covered it too, because I was going to ask, like, was there any like thing that you saw as the executive producer that, since you know this character so well, you wanted to change or at least keep true to that? So thank you for kind of covering that also.
Yeah, I mean the biggest one was that the original version of the movie, The Thunderman's Return, was not going to be a multicam, and it wasn't going to have a laugh track. It wasn't going to be shot like a sitcom. It was going to be a movie, and I just was like, I don't know, man. I think when you take a sitcom and you take away the air, you go, oh, was this ever funny? Like when you change the genre so drastically, it's really jarring to me personally. And I was just like, ooh, I think we should just break some new ground and make a multicam movie. Why not? It's going on streaming. What's the difference? Like, let's just make an hour and a half long episode, basically. And, it took some convincing, but people got on board. And ultimately, I think it was the right call because I don't know if we would have gotten the spinoff had it not sort of been a long episode that showed what it would look like if we continued with the series. So yeah.
Yeah, speaking of the laugh track and stuff like that, I mean, I always, for me, that always like brings like such joy. Like I know it's like just like when you guys do something that's incredible or just something silly, like everything, how just that pops in. And I think, yeah, if you guys did it like that, it would have been completely different, and we probably wouldn't
Yeah,
even be talking
people
today.
thank you. I mean, the laugh track is contentious. Like, definitely there are people who are super laugh track haters, and I get it. For me personally, I feel like there's something so magical about feeling like you're watching a live performance and feeling the energy of the room and the actual laughter that's happening in the room. And then it's sweetened with, canned laughter too. I think it's important that the balance be that it make it feel somewhat live, because I know it can get annoying when it's just like fake laughter in your ear. But yeah, it's just it's part of the genre and it's part of the rhythm and it's part of the energy. And once you get used to it, it kind of does fade into the background a little bit, I think.
No, no, it definitely does, and I think that's what makes all of these shows so great because watching your show or any other show that comes on, hearing that always brings it like that extra little like fun to it.
Yeah,
But
it's
speaking
nostalgic.
of fun, the set that you're on for the high school, I'm like that looks so familiar, but it is the set from the Liv and Maddie show. Is that
It's
correct?
not. Everybody
Oh.
thinks it's the freaking. We didn't take the set from a different TV show. I'll tell you what happened. We have a production designer who has worked on a lot of Nickelodeon and Disney shows. And I was talking to him about this. Every a sitcom set can really only be two or three things, right? Because the way that sitcoms are blocked, and there's the fourth wall, the proscenium where all the cameras are, you need space for actors to move, you need somewhere for actors to hide, you need stairs that go to nowhere. Like, there's only a couple of ways you can do a set. But I think what had happened is he based this set off of the Liv and Maddie set, but the designers of the Liv and Maddie set had based that set off of a different set he had made for another show earlier. So he was inspired by a design that was inspired by his design. So yes, it is similar to the Liv and Maddie set, but it is definitely not the Liv and Maddie set. Just like our living room is not the same living room from Victorious, and everyone thinks that it is. But all sitcoms really look at Everybody Loves Raymond, look at The Nanny, look at
Yeah,
every sitcom is basically built the same way with like
yes.
slight adjustments because there's just it's how you do it.
Yeah, that's hilarious though. But it,
Yeah.
it, it also too like it could open like a if for fans that see that like oh that looks like this maybe they'll go back and start watching those shows again. Um,
Yeah.
there's a lot of funny moments in the show between you and Jack, and then so I'm wondering because he has some funny lines. I got lucky to watch a couple of the episodes. Has there ever been a moment where he said something or done something that you just couldn't hold it and just started cracking up on set?
Probably. Trying to think of specific. Yeah, he did an ad lib in the movie where we're tied up by Dark Mayhem Jr. and like the other villain children, and the our line was like, oh, it was like, I know your secret. And it was supposed to be like, what, that you have the power plant or whatever. And it was like, I know your secret. He was like, what, that your hoodie is connected to your jacket? Cause he was like wearing a jacket that had like a built, it was like so stupid, but he just like made a reference to this wardrobe. And I don't know why, but it just like totally got me. And I got the giggles so hard that I like cried. I like was actually tearing up. And it like it wasn't even that out there, but it just like really hit me right. It was just really funny to me and totally unexpected because we don't improv that much on our show. Like the jokes are written very specifically and we deliver them, and we'll throw in little things at the ends of scenes sometimes, but usually it's like every time you ad lib, that just adds another take you have to do to get what the writers actually want. Like ultimately it is wasting time and money unless it's a really strong one. You have to be very like tempered with when you choose to improv. So we don't do it very often, and I just wasn't expecting it at all. And it made me laugh until I cried. It was very funny. Didn't make it into the final edit, but made me giggle. Chris
Well,
Tallman is the one who makes us break and laugh the most. He's just the funniest person in the world.
well, thank you very much for your time today, Kira. The
Thanks.
Thundermans Undercover is now playing on Nickelodeon. You can buy it digitally also. So thank you very much for your time today, and have a great day.
Thanks, you too. This was fun.
Bye.